It's Thursday, October 31st. I'm Jennifer Vong, and we'll begin with the Fiat Chrysler PSA Group deal. The two automakers confirmed plans to join forces through a 50-50 share swap to create the world's fourth largest automaker. FCA and PSA say they aim to reach a binding deal to create a $50 billion company based in the Netherlands. It would have listings in Paris, Milan, and New York. PSA's Carlos Tavares will be CEO, and FCA's John Elkann will be chairman. The management teams of FCA and PSA will seek to finalize the discussions in the coming weeks to create a group with 8.7 million in annual vehicle sales and make savings of $4.1 billion. The two sides say they won't close any plants. In a statement, the company said, quote, "In a rapidly changing environment with new challenges in connected, electrified, shared, and autonomous mobility, the combined entity would leverage its strong global R&D footprint and ecosystem to foster innovation and meet these challenges with speed and capital efficiency." The combined company will have an 11-person board, with 6 members coming from PSA and 5 from FCA. As part of the deal, FCA will pay its shareholders a $6.1 billion special dividend and hand them shares in its robot-making unit Kamau. The combined company will have a dozen brands including Fiat, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Peugeot, Citroën, DS, Opel, and Vauxhall. The move comes less than 5 months after FCA abandoned merger talks with PSA's French rival, Renault. The French government was blamed for that collapse. It owns a 12% stake in PSA and welcomed the deal with FCA. For more on what executives at the two automakers are saying about the planned tie-up, we turn to my colleague Tom Warbeck in the newsroom.
Good morning, Jennifer. As you mentioned, PSA CEO Carlos Tavares will be CEO of the combined company. Tavares saying in a statement, quote, "This convergence brings significant value to all the stakeholders and opens a bright future for the combined entity. I'm pleased with the work already done with Mike and will be very happy to work with him to build a great company together." Tavares speaking of FCA CEO Mike Manley, who added, "I'm delighted by the opportunity to work with Carlos and his team on this potentially industry-changing combination. We have a long history of successful cooperation with Group PSA, and I am convinced that together with our great people, we can create a world-class global mobility company." It's unclear what role Manley will hold in the new business. Meanwhile, French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire welcomed the deal, saying it would give the two companies the critical mass needed to thrive in a fast-changing industry. And on the analyst front, Jefferies' Philippe Hucho says PSA is effectively paying a 32% premium to take control of FCA. Quote, "We continue to see FCA PSA as the most logical and attractive combination in autos." And Philippe Munoz, an analyst with Jado Dynamics, discussed FCA's selection of PSA. Quote, "It's not as good a partner as Renault, but any partnership is good." Jen, let's pass it back to you now for an update on FCA's third quarter earnings.
Thanks, Tom. FCA saying today that North American adjusted earnings jumped 4% in Q3 to $2.25 billion, while revenue was flat at $21.3 billion. The automaker's overall adjusted earnings increased 5% to $2.2 billion in the quarter. Manley saying in part, quote, "Our strong Q3 results, built on record North America profitability, put us in a position to deliver our full-year guidance." For more, stay with autonews.com. And finally, what would normally be our lead story, the UAW and Ford reached a tentative agreement on a new 4-year contract late Wednesday. The proposed deal includes more than $6 billion in investment and would create or retain more than 8,500 jobs. Union leaders from Ford plants around the U.S. will meet on Friday in Detroit to review the deal. They will decide whether to recommend it to membership for a ratification vote. Neither side released many specifics, but the agreement is likely to mirror the pact between the UAW and General Motors due to the union's pattern bargaining approach. The UAW's main table negotiations with Ford wrapped up after just 3 days. That's in stark contrast to the contentious back and forth the union had with GM, which included a 40-day national strike. That wraps up today's newscast. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care.